I just got my food handler's card. Just to see if I can get this focused. Yeah, it's not focusing. Anyway, that's my food handler's card. Oh, it's not focusing. And let me tell you how it went. So actually, I'm gonna go through this a little bit differently. I'm actually gonna go through the questions that I felt like were absolutely on there. It's a 20-question test. If you don't know how the food handler's card works, here in Vegas, it is a requirement at any of these like places that deal with food. I believe even if you're a bartender, you got to have this card as well, along with your TAM card. So food handler is something to get. It's only 20 bucks. It's something to get if you're moving to Vegas, you're looking for some work, and you don't necessarily know what kind of work you're going to get into yet. It's just a good idea just to have it on deck because it is a requirement if you start working with any kind of food. The test is extremely easy to take. You walk into the place. It takes about 30 minutes from the time you walk in until the time you leave to get your card. It probably took me about 20 minutes, only because it was a little bit of a line. But other than that, it was extremely fast. You go in, you give them your ID, they ask you if you want to take the test now or if you want to study. All the material is online. There's no study material at the place. So don't go to the place thinking, oh, okay, I'm going to go in there and now they're going to give me the study material. Just get it online first. So go to the Southern Nevada Health District .org and go get the training material. Now I'm gonna tell you right now, if you want to skip all of that, you might as well just pay attention to this video because I know exactly what was on the test, why I just took the test, and I'm just gonna go through a couple of things. I'm gonna go through each section. This pamphlet, the training that they give you was only about 14 pages, but the information they cover it in about 20 questions. And let's see. I'll start off with a couple of questions that I know are for a fact on the test. Let's go with I'm on the introduction about this. This talks about proper hand washing, temperatures, food contamination. I think one of the very first questions they asked is about what cross-contamination is. Just know that it's mixing raw meats with vegetables. That's going to be the cross-contamination question. You know that for a fact. The proper hand washing technique. Now, I skimmed through this entire thing before I took the test. I just skimmed through it and I said, all right, I'm gonna go in there, I'm gonna take the test, I'm gonna pass it the first time. And I believe I caught myself in a very tight situation by doing that. I know one of the questions was about personal hygiene and proper hand washing technique. Now, if you look at it, it says that you got to wash it with minimum 100-degree water. But the question that they're going to ask is, how long do you scrub your hands before moving on or whatever? And I think it has something like 5 seconds, 15 seconds, 30 seconds, and a minute. I don't know what I put. I'm pretty sure I got it wrong though, because I had no idea it would have just been 15 seconds. The answer is 15 seconds. You wash your hands for 15 seconds, you're good. Another one that's on there for a fact is no bare hand contact with foods because it will cause germs. That's not food. That's not foodborne illness, but it is something that has to do with germs. So when you see the question about germs, it's about touching food with your bare hands. That question is on there for sure. Let's move on. Well, let's see. Let me make sure I didn't forget anything in here. So yes, those are the questions on page number 4. Let's see. Okay, so they talk about how you should not come into work if you're sick or if you have a wound or you're throwing up and all that kind of stuff. If you're already sick, don't show up to work or anything like that for 24 hours. I didn't see that question on the test, but it is important to know because that could be one of those curveballs that they throw at you. So one important question that they're going to ask a few different times is about the temperature of the foods, and it's not that difficult. All you need to know is 35 and up to keep foods warm, and 41 and below to keep foods cold. And then, you know, you're going to reject frozen food with that's been crystallized. You're going to avoid spoiled stuff. The questions are real easy. I mean, they have a lot of things that some of the questions are. It's just too easy. They're gonna say which one of these foods do you reject, and it's gonna be one of these moldy things or something like that. It'll be something like that. They're gonna ask you that about 2 or 3 times. And again, they're gonna ask about that proper temperature, above 35, below 41. Anything in between is danger zone, and they might ask where is that danger zone, and that will be part of it. And between, if they'll say, hey, you know, which one is considered a danger zone? And it, like I said, it's in between 41 degrees Fahrenheit and 135 degrees Fahrenheit. One question they definitely ask is about proper thawing. So it is important to maintain foods 41 degrees or below when thawing. And so they say, well, what's the best way to thaw? And that's under refrigeration. It's part of the cooking method, in the microwave, or fully submerged in cold water. The one question that they're gonna say is like, well, are you allowed to thaw foods by like leaving it on the counter and then just leaving it like that? Answer is absolutely not. And that's what is on the test for a fact. So again, with the proper temperatures, they didn't really go into much detail on the whole muscle meats or the ground meats or anything like that. But if you want to know them, it's 145 degrees, 135 degrees and up to keep foods warm, but it's 145 degrees for fat to start to have your meats cooked and up. You don't want to have any meats under this 145. So I believe that might be a question on the test. Now this one is a really important one. It's about the cooling method. And the answer on the test is 6 hours. And the way it's done is they talk about cooling a soup or something like that. And the way that it goes is from 135 to 70 degrees Fahrenheit for 2 hours. And then from there, 70 degrees to 41 degrees in about 4 hours, 6 hours total. That is for a fact on the test, and that is the answer to that question. So don't miss it. They did ask this extremely weird question, and I'm still don't know. Oh, I got the answer, and I wonder if I answered it right. I can't remember. About the thermometer calibration. They're going to ask, how often do you calibrate the thermometer? The answer to that question is anytime the thermometer is dropped. Anytime the thermometer is dropped, you gotta calibrate it. They had something like once a year, something like every day, or you don't ever have to calibrate it or anything like that. But anytime the thermometer is dropped, you absolutely want to calibrate it. So that's the answer to that question. Let's see. Now they talk about the three basin cleaning, and they say what's going to be in the first one. You're going to have in the first basin. They say in a 3 basin washer. What's going to be in the first washer? It's going to be the hot soapy water. It's going to be hot water, because then after that you're going to rinse it and you're going to sanitize. There is no other. That the answer to the question is the hot water, or washing it, the cleaning of the dish. I know that's it for that. Let's see, what else did they ask? They asked something about mice. How do you know mice or pests are in your kitchen? Let's see if I answered this correctly, because I didn't read this either. It says signs of pests, yada yada yada. You'll find rodent droppings on the floor, bite marks. Now, this is what I did not answer correctly, for sure. I put something like strong oily odor, because I was like, maybe, because I don't know how these bite marks are going to indicate that, or how do you know if it's a specific bite mark. But the answer to the question is actually the bite marks, because it's written right here, and it's the only question on, it's the only answer on that test that falls in line with what's on this page here. So, I definitely missed that, and I would have never thought I would have missed it. I just thought, oh, okay, maybe they're being smart on me. No, that's how easy this test is. It's really kind of a straightforward, hey, how you know you got mice? You got some mice bite marks. All right, okay, that's cool. Now, they talk about how to place things in storage. Make sure you're ready to cook, ready to eat foods are at top. All your meats are at the bottom. Your poultry is at the very bottom. And then one question that is for sure on the test is how high above the floor does your food have to be off of the floor? I said it was 12 inches, but that is wrong. It's 6 inches. It says it right here. Like I said, I was skimming through it. So just know that that's going to absolutely be a question on the test. It's 6 inches above the floor to place any foods, and then it'll go up from there. So answer 6 inches. Other than that, the glossary is here, and so that's really the test. I mean, I just in a couple of minutes here, I just gave you the whole spiel on what exactly is on the test, exactly how it goes down. And once you take that test, it's all on an iPad. So you take the test on an iPad. They have a whole bunch of kiosks with iPads. You put your information in, you take the test, you say you have to get a 70% or above, so you can't miss more than 6 questions. And out of 20, so 6 out of 20, but you'll be fine. Is that it really is that simple, especially now that I gave you all the answers. And once you get done with that, you're gonna go up to the front counter, give them your paper. It's just a small little paper. Give them $20. They'll write all your stuff up. They take a picture right of you in front of you right there. I mean, this is much faster than a DMV or anything like that. And you walk out with a card. And this is a card that I walked out with. It's a card, like a card. And it has it expires in 2 years from the date. So I have 2 years to use it. And if I want to go get some work, get some jobs, that's what I'm going to do with it. And that's basically it. That's how you get a food handler's card here in Las Vegas. All right, I'll catch y'all on the next one.